Hello, it's Peter Wright and Kathleen Beauvais in Ontario, Canada, with episode number 51 of the Yakking Show. This is where we talk about life, business, and more to bring you tips and ideas for the changing world we're living in. We're making an exception today. We do not have another interesting guest for you. It's just Kathleen and I, but we've got a special reason for doing this particular episode. But before I get into the details, let me welcome Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. How are you doing down there in Waterloo today?
I'm well, Peter, and I was just going to interject. We're special guests, aren't we?
Oh, well, you are. You know, one of our punchlines is Beauty and the Beast, and you've got obviously the beauty appellation, and I struggle along trying not to be too much of a beast, but it's hard when I get to my age. So, Kathleen, we said we were going to do this quick video because we have a lot of guests lined up, but we're always looking for more.
Absolutely.
Because we have three criteria for our show. It must be at least one of educational, entertaining, or enlightening. And very often our guests fulfill all three of those criteria. So just take a moment, Kathleen, and tell our listeners and viewers the type of person we're looking for to be on the show.
Well, as you pointed out, Peter, we are looking for a diverse group of individuals, actually. Anybody, business owners, professionals, authors, entrepreneurs, people that work in large corporations. Really, it's just open-ended, really. Anybody who's interested in becoming a guest on our show can absolutely reach out to us. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And just for the benefit of our viewers and listeners, Kathleen in a moment is going to tell you a bit about her other business interests. And I'm just going to say right up the front that we started this podcast and video show series back in March of this year, right at the beginning of the great coronavirus problem, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. We did it for a bit of fun and we enjoy doing it, but we found that it's grown beyond our wildest dreams and it's now taken on a life of its own. And we're getting people asking to be on the show and we're getting feedback. And Kathleen will talk more about this in a moment. We're getting feedback that it's actually helping people in their business, giving them exposure. So from my side, I'm a published author. I have a blog and Kathleen and I together have a tiny homes marketing business. But that's enough about me. Back to Kathleen so she can tell you a little more about what she does when she's not co-hosting the Yakking Show.
Thanks, Peter. Yes. So I have a company called Carry Tech Solutions Incorporated, and we are an IT outsourcing and recruiting company. So basically, we help companies that want to streamline business processes, improve efficiencies, and decrease operational costs all through the use of technologies. That's what we do. We develop apps, we use customized software. And as Peter was saying, we started the Yakking Show really just when the pandemic started as our way of actually helping businesses give back to them to see how we could help them gain more exposure, because there's a lot of people are hurting right now. Isn't that right, Peter?
Absolutely. Yeah, lots of people are really struggling. People we know personally who are having to close their businesses because of this and can see no way to continue. So it's really sad, but we don't want to be negative. We're trying to be positive. So I'm going to bounce it back to Kathleen in a moment and ask her to give a couple of examples of some of the benefits that our guests who've been on the show are talking about and have given us as feedback. Go ahead, Kathleen.
Well, you know, we've been getting some wonderful feedback from doing these shows, which we appreciate tremendously. And we love all the comments that we get, and please keep them coming. So we do appreciate and look at all of them. But what we have noticed is that businesses are reporting back to us that because that they're on a video, there's more relatability. So when people see them, as opposed to going directly to their website, they become more transparent and relatable to, and people get to know more about their business on a personal level because they get to hear it straight from their voices. And of course, with increased exposure is an increase in business. And so, I mean, isn't that wonderful, Peter, that businesses are reporting back to us that they have seen an increase in some of their business dealings? So,
absolutely. Yeah, it is wonderful. And the other thing we're finding is that we inadvertently are developing, if that's the right word, a synergy between or symbiotic relationship between some of our guests. And I'll give you an example. We had one person who creates maps, and we have some authors who needed maps for their books that they were in the process of writing. So we connected the two, and lo and behold, I think they're going to do some business together. And anyway, they've made contact, which is the important thing. And we have a band of authors who talk to one another. Some of them didn't know one another before being guests on our show. So that's another huge benefit. And I think, as Kathleen said, it adds to the transparency. The difference between videos on a platform like ours, where it's a show, it's somewhat neutral and impartial. So although the guests obviously can promote their business, it's not quite the same as them promoting themselves on their own website. It's seen as a little more impartial or neutral, whatever you want, adds some credibility. That's enough for me. So I'm going to bounce it back to Kathleen once again.
And the other thing is that they can take the video that we produce and we share on our social media platforms. They can also share it on their media platform as well as their website. And they can embed that video right into their website. And Peter, you can provide them with the raw videos so that they can use it for their own marketing purposes as well. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, they can take little snips of it and put it in promotional material, or they can take the whole thing and add to it and put a promotional blurb on the front. And of course, we put a description, as you would have seen if you've seen our videos, with contact details for our guests. We share it on our social media, and between us, we've got close on 20,000 Twitter followers on several accounts, a couple of thousand Facebook followers on our own and our business pages, and on LinkedIn mix, and the audio goes out on now 4 different podcast apps. Can't remember them all. Spotify, Amazon Music, and we've just signed up with Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcast, Amazon Music, and I think there's another one. So it's widely available and widely distributed.
Excellent. And we're having fun doing it too.
That's right. So we just wanted to keep this particular video short and invite you, if you're interested and you'd like to promote your business, or if you've just got an interesting story to tell. You don't have to be in business. We've had many guests who are not business people, but they have a good story to share and an important message. So you can contact us in several ways. Kathleen will give you her details in a moment, but the easiest is to go to theyakkingshow.com, which will be a caption under the video and will be in the description. And there's a little picture on the front page and of a microphone. If you click on that, it'll take you to the form. Fill it in. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you'd like to talk about, and we will be in touch with you. We cannot guarantee that we will accept all requests to be guests. We have to be a little selective, and we do have a waiting list of sorts. Kathleen, you'd like to give your email as well, just in case people would rather get directly in touch with you. And I wouldn't blame them if they want to do that. So over to you.
Well, thank you, Peter. So if you are interested in being on our show, please don't hesitate, as Peter said, to reach out to him or to myself. And you can reach me at Kathleen@caritechsolutions.com. And I think, Peter, you're going to have that as a caption to this video as well.
Absolutely, it will be there. So there we are. That's about it for us today. Thank you, and we look forward to meeting you again.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again next time.